It's Wednesday night, and I know the stage looks a little bare right now, but bear with me. We have a huge show. You know how it is, and just as I'm kicking off the show, fashionably late as always, Miss Sheeta P just walks in the building. It's Tru Radio on WLVS coming to you live from the heart of the city. We have an action-packed show for you tonight. We have several guests. Some are already in the building as Black GOP steps in the building also. So we always appreciate y'all tuning in, checking us out for the latest sports, politics, current events, and entertainment news coming to you like you've seen never before. So I guess while we're letting our co-hosts get settled, I'll let them get up here before I get into the sports report. We can kick it and see how they're doing today, fighting that DMV traffic, which you know always is a headache. Miss Sheeta P.
Hey, everybody.
What's going on? So
What's
what type of traffic debacle did y'all get in on the way
I don't
over
know. It's crazy. Jacob, can we do another mic?
Oh, yeah, we have the fourth mic. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
We can get another, yeah.
All right.
But you see things sometimes get a little discombobulated when you're doing a hot live show. But as always, the team is here. No need to fear. Tru Radio is here to knock it out. GOP, Sheeta, how y'all doing tonight?
What's up? What's up? We in the building.
Ladies and gentlemen, as usual, welcome back to Tru Radio right here on WLVS Radio. I don't know what they're doing. It's kind of around the Pentagon area. It's like they were filming the scene for the next Matrix. Like there was so much construction going on.
Independence
it was just
Day.
like,
Did you see Neo?
yeah, I see Neo every day in my life. That might be the alcohol. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that might be the alcohol.
Might be.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? CP3, what's good with the sports report?
Yeah, let's get into the sports report real quick. As of right now, the Capitals are down to Tampa Bay 3-2. They're playing pretty well right now. I turned the game off because the momentum switched up. They're currently first in the Metro Division at 43-23-7. They won last night against the New Jersey Devils 4-1 on the road. They've been playing pretty well. They're getting ready. There's only 8 games left in the regular season as of tonight with them playing. The Islanders lost the night before, so they're currently sitting pretty 2 points ahead of them, 3 points ahead of Pittsburgh, who's making the push. They lost to Carolina the last night in overtime, so they gained the point. But Carolina's on their heels because they just got the first wild card position. Just to reiterate how important this Tampa Bay game is before I move on to the NCAA. They lost to Tampa Bay last week 6-3. The game was closer than that. They got a couple of empty net goals at the end of the game. So this game right here is kind of huge for the Caps because they played them 3 times in about 12 days, and this is the second game, and they're at home, and they have to go back to Tampa to play for the third game. So it's going to be very key for the Capitals to pull a win out tonight to try to make a statement because they are probably going to see each other in the playoffs when it's that time. They had a great 7-game series last year on the way to the Stanley Cup, and Tampa's trying to make a statement that they got to answer for what the Caps did to them last season. And to go into the hottest topic of what's going on starting Thursday, as most everybody knows, the NCAA tournament starts. Everybody fill your brackets out and get ready. I believe the tip-off is at noon on Thursday. You can go to sportsothp.com or check out our Facebook page. Click on the link. We have our own bracket where you can, it's a free. You don't have to pay anything. And the winner of the bracket wins a $40 Amazon gift card and bragging rights. You can come onto the show and, tell everybody how you did it and, have the bragging rights for a whole year until it comes around again. And that's going to be the quick sports report tonight because we have such an action-packed show tonight.
Oh, my God.
Yes.
It's already over?
Yes. I said last week I gave y'all the 2 pages, so I figured I'd just do the quick 3/4 page and let's move on to some of these great guests and great topics we have tonight.
Sheeta P, would you like to introduce our guests?
Yes, we have one of the best bands out here. I absolutely love them. We have GI9 in the building.
Give it up.
Woo! Come on up, you guys.
Guys, come on over.
What's up, fellas?
Hey, what's going on? I know it's a chair.
We're good.
I got one. I'm good.
Man, I'm gonna say it like this. You guys are officially on the. I hope you don't mind the word. You're on the side nigga camera.
I love it.
So if we could
That's
get,
what we call it.
So I want to switch seats with one of you guys and have you guys up here.
Oh, take the main man up there.
Okay.
I'll be the side nigga. I can do that. I just play bass, so it's all right.
Oh man.
Yeah.
There we go.
There's a nice setup.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Got
We
your
love it
vodka
down
hanging
here.
up over there. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So and sorry for the late delivery. I just sent the songs in because I'm black and we do everything late. This is CP3 on the end. This is Sheeta P in the middle.
Right on.
I am Black GOP. It's kind of like a mix of a conservative mindset, not a Trump supporter, but a conservative mindset, but it's really for general operating partner of Tru Radio Network. Gentlemen, introduce yourselves.
My name's Ron. I'm the front man of the band, and pretty much started this off about 12 years ago, and I've worked with a lot of people, and we've played a lot of places I never thought we'd ever be able to play, and what's really crazy is through all the adventures we've got here we are sitting next to you, and here we are online, blasting it out there, letting people know about GI9, and if you want a real good laugh, go on the website and look at how the name was made.
Oh,
And
wow.
it's an interesting story, and I don't want to spoil it for you, but to go and read it, you get to read about the band members. It's gi9.us, and I'm really proud of the guys and the work that they've done. I am known as the tyrant in the business because if it's not done right, I make them do it again and again and again. And I've worked with a lot of people that come in with these ideas, I'm going to do this, and suddenly they're like, I just want to do whatever we're all doing, and it works. And we got a really strong fan base. Our website is constantly getting pounded. Our Facebook gets blown up, and we have a really interesting show coming up on May the 11th. It's for the David Mundy Fallen Rider Band, and it's out in O'Connell's out in West Virginia, Martinsburg, West Virginia, and it's a whole bunch of local bands coming together to raise money for families who have had a person go down on a bike. And since I ride and a lot of my friends ride, it really just comes real close. And GI9 is the direct support to the national band, which as of tomorrow noon, we're allowed to put the word out there. So it's like a big surprise. So I hope you guys are checking it out. We're going to blast it all over the place and let everybody know. And it's just it's an awesome venue. The people putting it on, the sound is awesome. The stage is fun. We've played it in the rain. We've played it in, was it snowing and icing, Scott, at one point?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, and we're out there. There's people are huddled around fires, but they're like, "Yeah, this is awesome."
Music brings them together.
And exactly. And they're out there in this really crappy weather, and it's just so amazing to see these people come out and be supportive. And that's what has blown me away throughout the years. Is all the people that have come up and said, "I not only support this, but what can I do to help? This is so awesome." You guys don't sound like everybody else out there. It's not that, where you can understand me when I'm telling you to go do vile things to yourself. And my friend Scott here, who is the bass player for GI9, came in as the sound guy I've known for over 30 years. And he got a chance to become the bass player, and he worked really hard and goes, I can play this. And he was down there day and night practicing, and now he's just like, I just play bass. Well, he's more than that. He's a supportive friend, and he's one of the few people that can go, no, Ron. That no. And I don't listen to a lot of people because I'm hard-headed, but
Understatement.
the reason GI9 comes out the way it does is because of that. Because I don't just let everybody go, oh, well, you should try this or you should try that. Don't wear black on stage. You should wear this, and I want to sequence this, and it just gets that just gets brushed aside. And I'm just like, look, if I want to go out there looking like a fashion show, I'll wear a boa or something.
Right.
And anybody who's been out there to see us is like, wow, they bring it, and I'm just lucky enough to be in front of it.
Yeah.
So that's the way I look at it.
And the first thing I want to get to is what is the name of your website, just so people can get there. Because there are times where we forget to get to people's websites and Facebook pages and stuff. So where can they find you? I want to get that right off the way.
Everything you need. Everything you need is at the 3 Magic W's .gi9.us. Everything, Facebook, our Twitter feed.
Our Twitter feeds, our connection to iTunes, Spotify, all the music.
If you have a cell phone, you can just Google or look up GI9 and it'll pop up. And the first name of the album was Uncultured Bastard, because I put the music out there.
That's a great name.
That's a great name.
It jumps out at you, and people are like, "Wow, that's pretty, like, how can you say that about your music?" And I was like, "Cause that's when all that standing in place, running, and going, breathing, and all that stuff was going on, and we weren't like that. And there was this little old guy named Bob Gaynor. He's this acoustic player for a band, and everybody says that, that's my future. I'm kind of fearful of it because he was a cranky, curmudgeon little old guy. But he had a voice that could go from here to here. It's just ridiculous. And he told me that if I was his son, I would be his uncultured little bastard. So it just stuck, and that's how we got the name for the album. And the working title for the album coming out, which is the tracks that we sent you, is from the working title is "It's Hard to Beat the King." So,
I like that.
And that's in reference to the people who flew with the Yellow Wing who dropped the atomic bomb on Hiroshima.
Wow.
Yeah, and
I would say the title "Uncultured Bastard" is my new middle name. I'm going to change it. I'm going down to the court tomorrow, and I'm taking CP3 with me.
I was thinking about getting a tattoo.
I
was thinking about getting a tattoo.
I
Uncultured
love
Bastard.
that.
That's a hell of a name, man.
That is great. And so how did you guys end up getting together?
I was working at a nightclub called Jackson Springfield for what seemed like a millennium, and all these bands were coming out, all these local bands, and I'm like, God, they suck. Either their guitar's out of tune or their drummer's playing something else, and I'm not trying to be hypercritical. It is, if it was easy, everybody would do music.
Doubt.
And it's
No
not
Right.
easy to get 3, 4, 5 guys with different ideas to get on the same path. And to do that and have everything come out fantastic, it's really tough. And what I mean by they suck is just like I see them trying and I see them going. And then you have, another reason I say that is because when you're there every day and you see 8 bands a day, you're just like, I just want to die. This was cool for the first week, and now I'm like, this is horrible. And there was this young kid that was up there playing, and his guitar was horrible, and I was the general manager of the club, and he's like, so what'd you think? Well, I was like, I respect anybody, and I mean this, I respect anybody who gets on a stage. Whether it's this kind of stage, a stage that karaoke people, anybody who gets out there and puts themselves out there, I have a lot of respect for them. And he goes, well, I want to see you do better. And I was like, bet. And I wrote the entire album out, and with some help from friends coming in and helping out, putting things together, we just brought these songs together, and it worked.
Wow.
People liked it, and I'm just like, oh, thank God. I'm like, when, and it was awesome, and it feels so incredible to get up on the stage with these guys backing me up, and they're right there, and then every once in a while Scott jumps in the way, and I think I've actually cut your eye open with a guitar once with the way
Was
we're
it
playing.
you that got me?
He knew it was
Who did
somebody.
I get? No, I got Ryan when I jumped off the stack, didn't I?
Yeah.
No,
You jumped off, and
this is me all the time, but on stage, if you come see us, I'm like a hyper angry maniac. And and then off stage I'm like this, I just play bass. But no, that's part of, that's like you said, seeing live bands, I was working in the club with them, and I've gone to arena shows and stadium shows and all that, and the one thing about those I think that sticks out more than locals is the show. If you pay 10, 15, 20 bucks to see somebody, you want to see a show. I don't want to see you just stand there in one spot in clothes you rolled out of bed with. And
wait a minute.
I'm gonna go change my clothes right
That's
now.
some shade. Is that some shade thrown right there?
Hold up, that's my hair.
I'm one to,
Hold up,
I'm one to talk. I'm barely covering up my alter ego here, a pizza delivery guy. But no, it's just I always tell people I want you to feel that you ripped me off coming to the show. Because I want to put on that kind of show where if you pay $10, you come up to me after the show and you go, Scott, I ripped you off. And well, what do you mean you ripped me off? You paid $10, you got in, you had a good time. Dude, it's $100 show. I only paid $10 for it. I wanted,
Right.
and that's the way we all are. We all go. I mean, last show we played, not even 3-4 days before, I'd slammed a door down on one of my main playing fingers.
Oh.
And we were worried, but I wrapped it up, tried not to use it, went in and played, and we put on a good show. And like Ron says, the guys in the band, Ron, Ryan, our guitarist who couldn't be here, our drummer Justin, all great guys, all in it for the music and for the show.
Yeah. Gotta get him. We gotta get him on.
Definitely. Gotta get a live performance.
Yes.
The magical thing about these guys, right now, we're all scattered all over the place. We got people in Winchester. We got people in one side of Annandale over here, doing their own things. And, I'm all the way down, and I'm living the dream now. I live on a lake in a log cabin, so I'm kind of out here, like, spread it out. But when we all get together, it's like, hey, man, how was your week? Yep, that's this and that. And all of a sudden, a couple funny profanities come out, and a couple jokes come out. Then it's all right, ladies, let's go downstairs and let's get to working. And it's like, you could have the worst day of your life. I mean, I've had some pretty crummy times, but when I get down there at that house, and that basement has been the most important stage than any other stage we've been on, because that's where, if you goof up, there is no, hey, it's all right, we'll get it the next time. No, it's like, it's brutal, and everybody gets it. It's like, oh man, you go down there, you're like, man, I hope my voice doesn't go out, because it's like,
or forget your pedal board,
or forget my pedal board, the main thing for my stuff, and and I want to make sure that we're very clear. We got Justin Wilson as the drummer right now, and he has really brought a really good heavy sound to the band, and Ryan Whitmore, who came to us still wet behind the ears. I think he still has umbilical cord attached. he came out, and he has developed into a really solid guitar player and a real solid friend. And that's really what the band has become. It's like, hey, you got a problem, let's help out. Or you got a problem here, let's help out. And we have like a depth of guitar players and people that are willing to say, hey, like, I broke my hand, and we had a guitar player step up and play my parts where I was still singing. And, Scotty got injured, and John Lane came out and was just like, let me play the bass here. And to this day, John's like, is Scott going to make it?
He did get excited when I smashed my finger. I know he's like, yes! Take his spot.
We did a show once at, was it Empire then? It was Empire at that point. One of the last shows the club had.
Yeah.
And I decided, okay, we're going to have everybody who ever played with me on the stage come up. That stage was full, and we had guitar players, bass players, random big guys in red GI9 logos singing, and it was just really cool, really big, and it was just really nice to look back and go, oh, jeez, I started all this nonsense.
So let me ask, how did you put this incredible team together?
By the grace of God.
Were you like Nick Fury? You're just rolling upon people in the bar with an eye patch, like, look, we're putting together a team.
Actually, the way it started was I got tired of waiting on people to write music, and so I started recording it all myself. And I would close the club, pull my gear out from underneath the stage, set up the recording unit, set up everything, and record until about 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning, and then I'm just exhausted. I got to go to bed, So that's how it started. And then my original bass player, Nathan, he comes up and he goes, I could play the bass. And I was like, really? Here's a bass. Show me. And so he's like, oh. And he started playing. I showed him what I was playing, and it was like teaching him, how to do this. And then Alex Wiglecki, he was the sound guy at Jack's. Okay. And he goes, man, that sounds pretty good. I could play that. And I was like, well, bring your stuff and play. And he's really good fit. There was a little bit of, no, you're not playing that part. No, you're not doing it. I need this, this, and this.
Yeah. And
it was taking guys who had the ambition. Then, Aaron Forbes, keyboard player. I went over to his house, and he was at our very first show. He heard us because it was Nathan's band. Because Nathan, everybody was out promoting, and that's a huge thing in music. You got to promote it. If you don't promote it, you're not going to go anywhere. You got to tell people about it, and I learned that from working at Jack's. And you got to promote and promote and promote. Anyway, this guy shows up at our first show, was taking pictures, and I have a picture of him taking pictures of us.
Wow.
And we became chit-chatty friends, and we became good friends. He goes, hey, why don't you come over to my house and show something? So I went over there, and this guy pulls out this gigantic keyboard and starts playing the entire theme song, the soundtrack for Star Wars with one keyboard. I'm like,
wow.
I'm like, I got an idea. Do you got a saw synth on that? And he's like, yeah. And after finding one, I was like, now, put that on top of this music right here. And he's like, I was like, show up at my house.
Wow.
I want to see what you can do. And he's been with the band. He recently separated. He got a job doing lights at that Lorton prison place. It's now like an artsy place.
Yeah, that's what you're talking about. Yeah.
He's doing that now, and he's doing stage shows and stage builds like his dad used to do. So it's like a family business that he's like really gone into. And he's still, it's kind of funny because he changes his profile picture like every 3 weeks.
Does he help set up like your stages and stuff like that, or because y'all are on some big stages? Everyone, when I say the stages are huge, I mean it's impactful. It's really nice.
Aaron now helps out with like little things in the background. Like if I do a solo gig, he'll come out and go, hey, let's play with these lights. And he'll bring some lights and, make me look awesome on, when I'm playing solo stuff. But he's more focused on doing his gig. And, we're still pals. Don't get me wrong. We haven't been like, well, you're not in a band. To the curb, you got kicked pretty damn hard. No, we've only had to kick one person to the curb. And one thing I don't deal with within the band, I don't care what you do in your personal life. I really don't. But when you come to rehearsal or to a show and you are on anything other than drinking or smoking a little, get the hell away from me. Okay. I don't deal with drugs. I don't deal with nonsense. That stuff has to be left at the door.
Yeah.
You can't have that because it's just not. There's going to be enough of that nonsense going on already in people's minds because we play music.
Right.
I go home to a normal house. I got 2 little dogs, got a great woman at home. Everything. I'm normal. But when I go to the stage, it's like a switch. I become 10 foot tall and bulletproof, and these guys step up, and it's awesome. But it's to answer your question, how it got put together is over time, life happens. And Nathan moved on, and that's when we got Scott. And like a parasite, he has not left. No, he's been really instrumental on helping putting together like the 2 songs that we sent you.
Love them.
The one that is Burning Blue was a bass line that he has been trying to get something done with for the past 30 years?
About 25 years.
25 years.
I wrote the bass line and
connected to Bluetooth.
All right, about time.
Congratulations.
I'm gonna do some porn here for a minute. No, just kidding. No, I had this bass line and it.
What is that?
That's
some interference from
what's
somewhere.
what's happening right now? Okay.
Scott did not write that.
I didn't write
I was like, damn, Scott got bars.
They changed stuff on us.
I am gonna do a remix on that.
You chose today to pull that out?
You can change the game on that one.
World premiere. I would say, speaking of the music, let's get into it real fast. Let's start with Nothing Left. I sent the emails in. If we can get that queued up. It's a great song. Me and Sheeta was rocking in. Rocking out to that on the way in. We were in the car like,
Yeah.
And that's the song I chose for the promotional video.
Perfect one.
Yeah, that's a great song.
I love it. I like the way it.
Yeah.
That song is a perfect way how this band works.
I love it.
Behind that song, Scott goes, I got this riff in my head, Ron. And I go, okay, I'm sitting there. I think I just got done rehearsing with my acoustic band.
Yeah.
And he goes, Ron, I got this idea. I got to show it to you or I'm going to forget it. I'm like, okay.
I know that feeling. Trust me.
Still having the bottle in my hand. And he goes, do 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 do, and he just plays through the riff. I'm like, okay. Show it to me again.
I'm curious, where did the lyrics come from? How did the lyrics come out? Because the lyrics are amazing on that song.
Yeah.
The lyrics.
I feel a shady story coming.
No.
No, it's actually
Just
a good
the way
one.
that laugh. Just the way that laugh came out.
Well, It's funny because I've had personal conversations with my 2 younger daughters. Well, not younger. One's 18, one's 15. Full of life and beautiful. They wanted to know what those words were about, and my younger daughter goes, "This is the breakup song, Dad." And I go, "No, this is more. I've had enough of it, and it has to do with a personal issue in my life." And you try everything you can. You try everything you can. You try this. You go, okay, well, this is gonna work. This is gonna work. No, and then finally, just rage takes over. And what I did with the riff that he gave me is I sat down there that night and I was like, okay, the next day was GI9 rehearsal. And I go, "Scott, listen to what I did to the song." And he goes, "Okay." And I played the whole thing out. And he's like, "Wow. What are the words?" I was like, "I don't know. I just like the way it sounds." He's the one that gave me the inspiration. He goes, "Dude, you got all this stuff built up inside of you because of what's going on in your life, whether it's, marriage falling apart or jobs just aren't working out or just being under stress here and there." He goes, "Let it out, let it go." And out came this noise out of me we were all just like, what in the hell was that?
That little bit of a device is more for the middle bridge of the song where he really unleashes, because he was like he was almost frustrated with like, what do I say here? How do I say it? And I was like, dude, just can I say the S word?
Yeah. You can say
We're so used to doing this where we can't say anything other than
We don't.
Yeah.
I told him like, dude, just go batshit. Just let it all out and just completely unload. And yeah, he just came out with. He always does. I can't write lyrics to save my life. I'm put a gun to my head. I'm gonna pull the trigger. I'll come up with a good riff or something and a concept, which is what Burning Blue was, the other song. I was like, this is what I'm trying to say, and I'll hand that ball of wax to him, and he's just a lyricist. He'll go, okay, give me 5-10 minutes, give me a day, and he'll find that feeling. He'll find, for whatever song we're doing, he'll find that word that needs to be said, or that, and like you said, with nothing left. I call it my stoner riff because I was just sitting there and it got stuck in my head all day. I'm like, I got to keep this one.
Why is it the stoners?
Yeah, because that's the story of this very show. Because with CP3 and Sheeta P, like I'm just like there's nothing left. I quit.
That ain't right. That ain't right. You see how you do us?
Play the middle of the song when you get ready to say that.
That's gonna be the theme song when I say fuck this and flip the desk over.
There you go.
And then walk out.
That's a good one.
I can't wait to hear it.
Can we get nothing left on? All right. While we're queuing that up, CP3. Any questions?
Yeah. Well, like I told them when they came in earlier, I hadn't.
It's too late. It's too late. It's too late.
I'll have them on after the song.
That's why I'm quitting. I quit every week. By the way.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, every week I quit.
Every time I look around, I see that everything is broken, and I am deafened by the words that are never spoken.
rocking out right here, live on WLVS Radio. Tru Radio, getting it in.
Right on, right on, right on.
WLVS.
Yeah.
All right, CP3.
That was hot.
I love that
I love
track.
that song.
That
Me,
bass line
I'm,
was.
I'm telling you, on the ride in, like me and Cheetah P was really rocking
were.
out. We were
was
rocking
ridiculous.
out. Like,
People was looking at us like,
like, why are these black people listening to this rock music in DC? Like, they were really confused. CP3, what's on your mind, bro?
Oh man, that was a nice track right there. That was a hell of a bass line. That was my first time checking y'all out, and I would say, yeah, y'all got a nice sound. Y'all rock out, and I'm just soaking it in, man. I only had nothing to say. I'm just that track was life right there, man.
Thank you.
Right on.
I know what I have to ask.
Uh-oh.
Yes, I'm single.
Scott and Cheetah, we would be at that
Scott is
wedding.
single,
Yes, sir.
SNS.
We would
Cheetah
be
and Scott.
we would be at that wedding.
Oh,
We
that
could
would
broadcast live from that
that
wedding
would be
if
a
you
hell of a
guys
wedding.
hooked up. You know what I'm saying?
That would be a hell of a wedding.
That would work. I'd like
That'd be
that.
cool.
I'd like that.
But I wanted to know, like, where, what other, like, I would say, I guess, famous bands or who inspired you all? Like, was there any other bands that inspired you to, like, do what you do
Oh.
that you look up to?
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah.
All right, this one's for you, Scott.
Oh no, I mean I can name 100 bands, you know, that have influenced me. Everyone from the Beatles to Kiss to Iron Maiden. My favorite bassist, Billy Sheehan. He's a world famous guy. He's toured with David Lee Roth, a bunch of other bands. I talk to him online all the time, get advice from him and stuff.
Awesome.
Constant inspiration. People like Joe Satriani. Heck, I've even been listening. I delved into my old body count the other day, which, you know, just to show my rap roots there, which are like that deep. They don't go down. It's terrible. Like, you didn't name like 3 bands, but no, I mean, I try, you know, I try and take influence from just about everything. I mean, I'm sure there's 100 riffs I brought to Ron. He's been like, no, it's not our style. I mean, we have a style we like to keep around, or a kind of feel, but I think all of us, you know. What are you doing over there? Trashing the joint?
I think the music got into
Yeah,
him.
the
Oh,
music
yeah,
got
you
him. About to start a
You need
mosh
to do
pit
some
over there,
headbanging or something. It's all good.
It's all right.
But no, I mean, you know, as I describe it, because I guess, you know, two of our biggest mutual influences, you will, are around the band are like Pink Floyd and Metallica. And I kind of describe the band when people ask, is like, well, imagine if Pink Floyd and Metallica fucked and had a kid.
That's a good way
That's
to put
us,
it.
you know.
That about sums it up.
But yeah, go ahead, Gabber Blount.
Do I?
No, go ahead.
I guess just hearing all the bands, the inspiration you want to know about, and hearing all the bands from everything from, you got Molly Hatchet, you've got the Eagles, you've got Metallica, you've got Megadeth, you've got Ozzy, you've got the Beatles, you've got, believe it or not, Jim Reeves from the 40s, you've got all kinds of stuff from the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s. Most of the 80s stuff, I will tell you, did not influence me, other than like the Floyd stuff.
Wow.
Most of the 80s stuff, that's where Scott comes in, because he's like the 80s head.
I'm the 80s head.
And there's a lot of people
Okay.
that are like, Ron, you should do this song or do that song. But I do want to add one thing you guys were talking about, driving down the road, banging it out.
Yeah.
I was driving down the road
No
one-
pause, by the way.
I don't know what
I
he's
said no
talking
pause.
I was driving down the road one day, down that route, out 66, outside the Beltway, so it was kind of open. And I look up and I see a buddy of mine's truck, so we try to catch up to him. He looks over at me and just goes, meh, see? And then drives off. Don't even realize it's us, so when we pull up next to him, I'm like, hey, here you go, have some of this. He looks over and he calls me on the phone. He goes, I'm listening to GI9, and here comes the singer of GI9 right past me, giving me the finger.
That's beautiful symmetry right
So,
there.
I mean, that kind of stuff is funny. But, you know, a lot of places we go to, the one thing I really want to put out there is the band walks into a club, and it never fails. We walk in, we're calm, we're cool, and we're not like walking around like, yes, I'm in GI9. Or they don't stand there and look hard like some of these,
Yeah.
We walk in, we're like, hey, dudes, how's it going? This and that. And never fails. There's a band that's always looking at us like, we're too metal. I'm like, okay, I'm not talking to you guys right now. And then when we get up on the stage, they're like, wait a minute, those were the guys that came in, were like really cool to us, and we were dicks to them. So it's just like, you know what? I tell everybody, and you never know who's in the building. You don't know who's standing there. You don't know who's watching you, like you watched us up on the stage.
Mm-hmm.
You never know who's going to be there and where it could lead. So you got to be like really cool to people, or you're just going to come across looking like a giant, dick meat, and you're never going to go
Yeah,
anywhere.
like I said, I'm like this all the time, and I remember the first time I met Sheeta. She was sitting there in a little security outfit.
Yeah.
That beautiful smile won me over. I've had a crush since the day I met her, and and who knew we'd be sitting here doing an interview, a couple years
Right.
later,
Yeah,
right?
actually, we just changed the name of the show to Dick Meat. That's the new
I
name
want a
of the
nickel
show.
every time
That's
that
right.
word is
Starring Uncultured Bastard.
That's gonna be the new hottest thing right there.
Although Sheeta, my best friend, does want. Yeah, my best friend was complimenting your nails. So I was going to ask where you get them done, because he was like, those are banging. He's
Those are-
definitely checking them out. So
Thank you. Shout out to the Lake Ridge. It's a spa in Lake Ridge where I get my nails done.
okay, all right, fair enough. Yeah, he was complimenting them.
Of course, she
Oh,
gets
thank
her
you.
nails done at a spa in Lake Ridge.
Oh my.
You gotta just go down the barber, huh? And he'll just kind of.
Yeah. So, guys, we're gonna wrap up. What's
Yep.
the name of the second song you sent?
It's Burning Blue.
We're gonna play Burning Blue and close this out.
Excellent, right on.
And you can get all of our tunes at www.gi9.us.
Yay.
We having problems in the technical department.
On the second song, it's only one song sent 2 times.
Oh, well.
The second email is actually called Second Track. Should be 3.
Has a 2 on it.
No, I think I actually spelled second. I think I actually.
Is it?
Yeah.
I went that
I spell it this way.
Well, they're
okay?
near Howard University,
Technical
so.
difficulties every now and again.
Yeah,
You know
just
how it
now.
is.
Yeah.
Live TV.
Well, we can't get it. I don't want to take from the other dudes every time.
No, absolutely not.
What?
Oh, here we go.
There we go.
All right.
Oh my God, dead air. Oh my God, dead air.
I had a question ready for CP, so.
Yeah. No, we didn't put a microphone on Jay.
Yeah, I mean, I was like, where did you get this from?
It was really hard trying to figure out which song to use for the promotional video. It was so hard. I sat there for like 30, 40 minutes, like, which song do I use? Because they're both amazing. So I was just like, damn it.
Oh, I have slipped the surly bonds of earth and danced the skies on laughter, silvered wings. Sunward I've climbed and joined the tumbling mirth of sun-split clouds and done 100 things you have not dreamed of, wheeled and soared and swung high in the sunlit silence. Hovering there, I've chased the shouting wind along and flung. I have seen every day from away. long, delirious, burning blue, where never lark or even a eagle I've topped the windswept heights with ease and grace, the high, untrespassed sanctity of space. And while with silent, lifting mind I've trod, put out my hand and touched the face of God. I have seen every day from
Folks.
Yeah, Gianna!
Right on. All right, guys.
We're out.
Thanks for coming out. Have an amazing night, man.
Hey, right on.
Appreciate it.
And don't forget to quit later on.
I'm quitting right now.
Should I move my cup of water before you flip the gas?
Yes.
It's at O'Connell's. I'll make sure we forward the information to you.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll make sure you get it.
It's
Yeah.
a really, really big show that we're
Oh, I
doing.
want to go. I'm getting on stage with you guys, okay?
Yes. And
If I can.
and again,
I want to be on stage.
and everybody, don't forget the new name of our show is
I'm so pressed to take a
Dick
picture.
Dig me.
Dick Meat. That's the new name of our show. Thank you.
I was pressed to take a
Let me
picture.
get
And by
over
the way,
How was
Joey,
everyone?
go fuck yourself.
Yes, sir.
Hey, thanks back there in the engineering part, bud. Appreciate it.
Hardest working person on the show.
Yes, sir.
Trust me, I just get to sit here and talk and look goofy.
Ready to get this next guest up?
We got to get our secret special guest up here, ladies and gentlemen.
Awesome.
You know, TDP's got to selfie it up. We got to get our next guest up
Yeah,
here,
then we'll get the selfies in. It said don't hang around.
and we're gonna. The show name has just been changed from Dick Meat to Kicking the Facts with Polo Stacks. What up, man?
Boy, oh boy.
Dude, how you doing, bro?
Hard night, wonderful night at the same time.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
We all know about those.
Oh man,
Man, boy, oh boy.
you know, unfortunately we only have like
We
about.
understand.
Unfortunately, we
10
only have about
minutes.
6 minutes left,
Right.
or something like that. But you know, I know you're a busy dude, man. I know you're a busy dude. What you been up to, Polo?
You know, we just came from the event. We do the pop-up shop every Wednesday down Carolina Kitchen at PG Plaza with a clothing line. And, you know, so
And how's that going?
that's going wonderful. That's going terrific. That's actually going greater than great.
Awesome.
Sweet.
Cool. Just so I don't forget, or just in case we run a little too late, first off, just tell them where they can find you at.
www.polostocks.com. You'll find everything that you can on me.
Yeah. So, how's the pop-up shop work? How does that go? Do you set up and because I remember seeing a picture of you with an entire clothing rack, like an actual rack.
Right.
You weren't like one of those dudes, sitting there with like folded clothes or like a pile of clothing. You actually had an entire, like, real, like, store rack.
Right.
Like, so how's that work, dude?
I mean, I just treat it like a store. You know what I mean? Like, bring the rack down. People can't go through something that's folded up. Why have them keep unfolding it, doing this? But you can just have it right here on the rack, and you can just skim through it.
Okay.
Pick what you want to buy. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And for those out there that don't know, Polo Stacks is an amazing, talented artist and just got into the clothing business. What made you switch it over to the clothing line?
Well, I mean, actually, that's just my sponsor.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I'm just the prophecy behind the business.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It's actually a mastermind behind the whole thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, take it and run with it. You know me. I always gonna help. I always help.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm always gonna help you get to that next level.
Okay, cool. And so what else you have going on, Polo?
The clothing, the car club thing. Still got this music thing going on. Next year, we will be going back on the road. We will be going back on the road for a full year instead of 6 months.
Nice.
You know what I mean? So it's a good thing, too. So.
Sounds good. CP3, any questions for Polo?
Polo, it's been a while since I've seen you.
Long time, man.
I've been following you. I've been seeing you shine with the clothing line and everything. Just what helps motivate you every day to keep pushing like you're doing? Because I'm trying to diversify my portfolio also, and I see what you're doing. So how can what is a good tip to help a young brother trying to get to do what you're doing?
I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. My kids, my motivation.
That's a beautiful thing.
It's either you eat or you die in the street.
Facts.
You know what I mean?
Can't say
I
more
ain't
really
gonna die
than
in the
that.
street. I'd rather eat. You feel me? So it's like the motivation, the hustle, the drive. That's just naturally born.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So everything. If I know that I'd have made $500,000 in the streets, I know I can put the same drive into doing something positive.
I say that same thing. I say that same thing. That's some
Mhm.
real talk right there.
Yeah. So, I mean,
Sheeta
I
P,
just
what's
take
the
it and run
move?
with it.
Well, I've been at one of the events with Polo. We did an event with 93.9, and when I'm telling you, I really don't have no questions or nothing, but like when he put his clothing rack out, people were buying it, and I just thought that was, no disrespect to any of the vendors that came out, I just felt like that was the one that everybody was attracted to.
Right.
You know what I mean? It was people coming up, yo, where can I get this? Everybody came out in their clothing, with the label on it, and it was real positive, and I was proud, and people were buying a lot of stuff, bags, very professional. Mm-hmm. So I got to experience the pop-up shop with Polo, so that was dope.
I'm jealous. What we're about to do is close out with one of Polo's songs. An engineer, you can pick whichever one, because I kind of forgot the names. Because it's been a long day, but Polo Stacks, real fast. When you're coming back with an artist that worked with you,
Correct.
that you're developing,
Correct.
and so we're gonna give you guys the whole hour, and that's gonna be an amazing show. I already know, you know what I'm saying. But thanks for coming by, man. Sorry for the short appearance. I know you have stuff to do. I had stuff to do. Everybody has stuff to do.
It's one of them days.
It's always
one of them days.
Every day is one of them days.
I'm telling you.
But,
One of them days.
yeah, we're gonna close out with. Okay, here we go. If you could, sorry, my freaking glasses, and we're gonna close out with Tomorrow. And that was one of the emails that was sent. But yeah, man, thanks for stopping by, Stacks. Like, it's really good to have you in.
Polo.
Nice
It's
surprise
always,
guest. You know what I'm saying?
I popped up all late, you know what I mean?
It's all right.
We ain't need to pop up to like 9:15.
It's all right. It's all good.
We know how it be, man.
Try and grind, you feel me?
Got to.
Absolutely.
That's what it is. You know what I'm saying? The grind is real. But we're gonna interview you. And is that an artist that works under you or just kind of with you?
Nah, he actually doing his own thing. You know what I mean? I'm just leading him in the right direction.
Hey, That's what we gotta do. We gotta build. If we don't build, what are we doing?
That's it. That's all. You know, I ain't never been stingy with my connects.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
All right.
So do we have tomorrow queued up, or
I did.
should be one of the emails? No.
No, we don't have it.
Didn't go through. All right. Well,
Well,
in
Next
that case,
time, Polo.
Next time.
We
Yep.
we on.
Next time.
always next time.
Yeah.
It's always.
all right, everyone. Y'all have a great night. We'll see you soon, and thank you for
Yes.
tuning in to Tru Radio right here on WLVS Radio. It's been an amazing night, and we'll be back soon.
No doubt.
Bitches, let's roll. Rap, living on him. Yeah.